I had some space to think, so I wrote a poem, and it became about my flute and my relationship with it. I wonder what my close musician friends would choose to say about their own instrument. Here is a collection of our musical reflections.
Robert Wyatt, Kenny Clark, Vinnie Colaiuta, Phil Collins, Joe Carrero, Buddy Rich, Steve Gadd, Philly Joe Jones, Bernard Purdy, Brian Sprigg, Dave Weckl, Harvey Mason, Billy Cobham, Pip Pyle, Tony Williams, Billy Higgins, Stomu Yamashita, Brian Blade, Morris White, Tony Hicks, Nick France, Jack DeJohnette, Art Blakey, Brian Abrahams, Omar Hakim, Dennis Chambers, Mark Mondesir, Tony Kinsey, Asaf Serkis, Eric Harlan, Stix Hooper, Laurie Allen, Joey Barron, Terry Bozio, Lenny White, Kenny Clare, Terry Lynn Carrington, Max Roach, Stuart Copeland, Alex Acuna, Sly Dunbar, Edwy Penn, Peter Eskin, Don Elias, Elvin Jones, Narada, Michael Walder, John Heisman, Chris Cutler, Bill Bruford, John Marshall, Chester Thompson, Lewis Moholo. A friend said Mickey Roker, but I don't think that's so. I never had any of his recordings.
The frequency of me. Allegedly, when I was 3, your sound did something to me. Through wood and string and bow you bring a newfound frequency. Our dance was fraught, many years was taught to resonate with you through fear. Yet when I began to liberate, our song would flow, not hesitate. A beauty for all to hear. Syrup and grit, melancholy and wit, arco and pits. You are the frequency of me.
When I was about 10 years old, my grandmother gave up trying to teach me to play the piano. Similarly, my mother, also a qualified piano teacher, found me a hopeless pupil. My musical education has been through listening and through improvising. In a sense, my teacher has been the piano, mostly allowing me the freedom to learn by my own mistakes, but at times a taskmaster every bit as fierce as my grandmother. I grew up with my parents' early 1900s Broadwood 5'6" grand, and I inherited when my mother died in 1995. I played every day, sometimes all day. I have no particular method of composing and arranging, except that everything I write I have to play first on the piano. Songwriting with Kate has been a thread running through all the work for 45 years. So I spend a lot of time setting texts, improvising, using whatever I can lay my fingers on. The piano has been my laboratory, a place to experiment, to test ideas. It's a church where you kneel to pray, or a gaudy bar where you can play the blues all day. It's a treasure house, its shelves and cupboards stuffed with scores, snatches of tunes, mixed up with jazz albums, copies of favourite pop songs, and unresolved fragments stashed away for possible future use. The Broadwood is my daily workbench. Out of long hours of soul-searching and self-doubt and sudden moments of discovery come the compositions, which are first communicated to fellow musicians, then presented to the public. On stage, I'm a band pianist, an accompanist, occasionally soloist. But most of my piano playing is done behind closed doors, heard only by Kate when we're writing a song, or overheard from her studio nearby. The Broadwood and I have been through good and bad times. We have grown old together, and we're both doing quite well for our age. Indeed, the Broadwood is featured on Kate's new Granite Band album.
Picture a graphic image of a slow curve downwards. Pitch black line bearing voice box, diaphragm, lungs, seamlessly moving this vocal cargo over small sky blue squares. Blue squares carry a hoot of a yodel line. Yodel-ee-ho, yodel-ee-hee. From youthful top left to ancient bottom right.
across the vasty deep. At my 100th birthday party, I will ingest 100 trembling flames, I will munch 100 waxy candles, I will eat 100 crumbs of my graphic cake. Then I will sing. Adieu. On a low note drawn from the deepest basso profundo, basso profundo. And at the last, a beep on the graph. Croak.
I sit under the oak in these 3 fields of wildflower meadow. She is not the only of her kind. Another cowers 30 strides away, whose essence is of the gloom and the deep thicket who flanks her. But today is Sunday, and to the first tree I am drawn. A black case rests beneath me. It makes a good hard perch for dusk, until the instrument within asks, "Did I come here to sing at all?" I stand, open the holder, and already the woodlice hear a cascade of open tuning grains of sound driven by the breeze. Is this enough, dear oak, to gain your sympathy? I ask. But I wish to be more than a voyeur to this meeting, and now the green grown-up lute is in our arms, searching through every pore as we conjoin in purest tone. Next eve, as the sun caresses the hedgerow's cracks, I am surprised to be drawn to the gloomy one. On one half of gnarly trunk she models mossy shawl, on the other ivy clings sporadically. About my perch I sense my instrument less wielding than before, but in denial still I bend to open up the lid. In the thicket we hear a rustle, but not a fly takes hover to witness this aeolian delight. So we walk around to the higher side, past the threshold of darkness, until at boughs meet a nest, and underneath a sinewed outcrop on which guitar so neatly fits, at this altar their greens collide until one deep note rings out from about my hands, and we are all but swallowed until stillness comes.
So, hello there. I thought I'd show you my my banjo, and I've played this instrument all over the country. I've played with the Queen, I've played on the South Bank, and virtually every single seaside resort you can think of. I don't play it very well. I bought my first banjo with my 21st birthday money for 40 quid. And I did that because I remember seeing my granddad's banjo propped up in the corner of a room. I didn't ever hear him play it, although I did know that he took his banjo and his ukulele banjo down to Margate and Brighton when he blacked up as a minstrel and performed 50 years before I ever bought mine. Anyway, I taught myself 8 chords and persuaded 4 of my friends to dress up in white satin black pom-poms and lots of makeup with me to perform on the beaches of Brighton, where we earned a living. And I then continued to earn a living for 30 years, virtually. This one's a broadcaster, an English banjo, 4-string. I call it Mother of Toilet Seat, on account of its rather nice laminate. I don't play it well. My friends always say I play a style of Edwardian thrash banjo, but it usually encourages people to join in. And I think one of the things I love about it is that although Piero is Italian and French origin, the banjo, of course, is Afro-Caribbean, so it's a kind of multicultural influence on British folk urban culture, which I like to think that we try to maintain that tradition somehow. Anyway, so this is the sort of thing I would play, a bit like this. I do like to be beside the seaside. Oh, I do like to be beside the sea. Oh, I do like to stroll on the prom-prom, where the prospect plays young. So just let me be beside the seaside. I'll be beside the sea. And there's lots of girls beside. I should like to be beside the seaside. Beside the seaside. Beside the seaside. Beside the sea. There you go. Rock and roll it probably isn't, but I kind of love it.
A voice. Begin with the breath. Breathe. Step into the flesh with ease. Relax the jaw. Release some more. Breathe. Breathe from the belly now. Let those bellows blow. Get new chi in the body, from the head down to the toes, and breathe. From a tentative hum, more confidence comes, then builds to fill the room. Let it out, release it, lose your head and free it. Now the sound is making ground. Breathe. It's painting whiskey and honey, bluebells, boots, dirty money, holy wells, earth and roots, urban cool and sharp suits, the ripest blushing summer fruits. Breathe. It's gravel and stone, it rocks. It is treacle and sap, it flows. It's sugar, it's salt, it's chili and lime. It's tasting wild and it's keeping time. Breathe. Raging river, it's a lake for the sea. Waterfall cascade, the omnipotent breeze. It's the rustle of leaves, a canopy of trees. It's zephyr white, it's the flight of a bee. It's my white knuckle plea when I'm brought to my knees. Breathe. It's bodies moving together all night, waves crashing on the shore. It's chocolate and cake and strawberries and cream, and you can hear it wanting more. Yes, now I'm really singing. I'm ringing like a bell. The energy's building, it's swelling, it's swell. The elation is telling, it's contagious as well. It's mellifluous, it's engulfing us, it's enchanting like a spell. Breathe. It is grunt, it is howl, it's moan and wail, it is call and cry and keen. It's a whisper, a shriek, a sigh and roar. It is belt and holler, it is scream. I sing out gold, sapphires and pearls. Breathe. I sing out the pirouetting green of our world. Breathe. I am vessel and mirror, I'm hollow as a reed. I am desolate, frivolous, I'm blazing with need. Breathe. It's the body and breath. It is spirit and flesh. It's mine, it's yours, it's his and hers. It's the sound of the soul, it's what makes me whole. It's the voice of the universe.
Alhambra calls you back, I know. That place now shorn that once offered odalisque to ancient hands, For the great ones, my fingers dip in paint modal pigments on seamless fabrics, while Alhambra calls you back, I know.
Yesterday I carried water past silvered drops from my body to your body, within to within, and free flow fingers made patterns, conjured colour in the air. I played you, or you played me. Today I was lithe in the pool with hockney limbs. They slid and glid like I never did before, David. I flow and shift. I am my flute, long and lean and full of breath and water. Notes pour through until they're caught. I dry them on my towel. Eve decides that shadows must prevail. I put my lips to you, cold partner, and passion speeds a piercing dart right in my heart. Memory meanders through concert halls and pubs and clubs and windy stages, upturned faces. Here notes play for birds and trees. My colours muted, but still fluted.